welcome to another exciting episode of Mortal Rolls. This is episode 12. And all of us are here. We're super excited because episode 11 left on such a terrible, terrible note. 2 of the fallen heroes have fallen, literally. And we don't know what's going to happen with them. But before we do that, we'll just do a quick introduction. In fact, I think we are going to skip introductions because we got to jump into this. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Have you guys all reached totality? Because we're about to begin. Last time on Mortal Rolls, as the heroes dash towards the cries of the mistress, they stumbled upon a scene of chaos. Johnny lay amidst the rubble, gravely injured, while the mistress feigned her own wounds. Eve, wielding her magical prowess, glimpsed through Johnny's eyes, uncovering the truth. The mistress was the architect of Johnny's fall. Miraculously, Johnny clung to life as the heroes discovered themselves within the temple of the harvest goddess, Mara. Infamous for reaping Farron's people, drawn to the desecrated altar, they heard the voice of Mara herself, addressing Eve as Nevaria, mistaking her for her own daughter. But as the goddess realized Eve's true identity as Verinia, the traitor, battle erupted. In the midst of the chaos, Eve collapsed, her true name echoing in her unconscious mind. Orin, valiantly attempting to heal the wounded, bore the brunt of the battle's toll. The mistress, wielding her final ounces of power, struck down one of the undead, revealed as the magistrates of Remorum, with the mistress and Morwyn then falling. All seemed lost. Yet, amidst despair, a familiar voice whispered to Morwyn, promising love and support. Now Sabine, Orin, Farron, and Rupert Chomsky are left to fend off the relentless onslaught, while hope dwindles for their fallen comrades. Will they emerge victorious, or will darkness claim them all? Find out in tonight's episode of Mortal Rolls. Now, how's that for an intro? As the silence hits Eve, in amongst all this battle and chaos, hearing the cries of pain, the cries of the comrades, Eve sees Morwyn fall to the ground as blood begins to gush from her mouth. Eve?
Yes.
Fall into this darkness. However, it wasn't long until you began to see light. And you began to see as if you were in the skies themselves, upon a mansion up high. You are in a familiar place. You're in a place that your memory struggles to regain any sort of knowledge or lore or any sort of familiarity, more than just the feeling of being somewhere that you've been before. As then your vision begins to take hold, as you begin to see the marble floor and the marble columns, and it appears a scene in your mind. Eve, in this memory, you are no longer in your commoner clothing. In this memory, you see yourself as 𝘼𝙣𝙤𝙤. And then as you are recalling this memory in a familiar place, you begin to hear a voice. And the voice is that of a woman. 𝘼𝙤𝙤, 𝘼𝙤𝙤, my sweet girl.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You turn around, hearing the voice calling you from behind in one of the rooms. And you see Mara. So glad that you've come. You've got my message then.
Of course.
That's wonderful, girl.
Straight away.
I need to talk to you.
Yes. What is it?
You know how wonderful it's been since 𝘼𝙣𝙤 was born?
Yes. Of course. Yes.
And now that she's all grown up, there needs to be a few changes. Nothing major, my dear girl.
Whatever you need, of course.
That brings delight into my heart to hear you say that. For remember when you said when 𝘼𝙣𝙤 was born, that you would do anything for her?
I would. I still would.
Well, I know exactly what you can do for her.
Yes. What is it?
She looks at you now with these golden eyes and this glistening green skin in perfect shape and beauty. With a slight smile that sort of begins to fade. I need you to move out of the mansion.
Oh.
And you'll live with 𝘗𝑢𝑥 for the time being.
Yes, for how long?
Hard to say. It's just that it's really hard for 𝘼𝙤𝙤 to be around you.
Oh. I see.
And do you know why? I'm sure you've felt the awkwardness that is created when you and 𝘼𝙤𝙤 are in the same room.
Oh. Of course. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't, I wouldn't want to make her uncomfortable. I will, go straight away then, if that would be of help to you both.
My sweet girl, my sweet angel. That would be such a great help. You have no idea. And I don't think that we are pushing you away. I want you to know that 𝘗𝑢𝑥 needs help. Olympia knows that that Juice is unable to keep up with all the needs of this great place, and of course with humanity down below. I'm sure you'll find a good place at his right hand.
Oh, that would be quite the honor. Are you? I am. Thank you. Can I come and see you? Perhaps sometime.
Of course. Just make sure that you send a message ahead of time. We just want to make sure that there's a schedule that is kept, and we don't want you showing up unexpected, and you know how these things are.
Of course, I will be sure to send a message before I visit. And only, of course, when it's most convenient for you and 𝘼𝙣𝙤𝙤, I wouldn't. Shall I go now?
Yes, my angel. Farewell, don't be a stranger.
Thank you. Oh, and she, like, kind of goes to hug her, but then, like, isn't sure whether she should.
Yeah.
And just goodbye.
And Mara gives no indication that she would be accepting of the hug.
Goodbye. Then.
Bye-bye. All right. And then as she turns around, she leaves your sight.
And Verenia kind of looks around, feeling a little bit lost. She's spent her existence so far with Mara. She was treated like a daughter until she wasn't.
And this memory was exactly that moment when you were no longer needed. This sense of hopelessness in your heart as you hear Mara's voice speaking to you through the undead magistrates, speaking to you in such a way of hatred. This moment was the moment where that all began. And as you begin to regain consciousness back as Eve, your eyes lock to that of Morrowind. And you find yourself remembering and the scene is different. A memory catches you and you're in this grand room of entertainment. In fact, music is playing from one of the gods off onto the stage. All the gods and goddesses intermingling and drinking. Vetus's wine. And you recall that you weren't able to partake in the party. Your job was to serve. But as you stare into Morwyn's eyes, you remember Morwen. As your other self, you were at this party. Do you recall where you were when you first laid eyes upon this angel, Brynja?
I was in the back. I was watching the party unfold, enjoying the merriment, but not a part of it. But I saw Brynja cleaning up after these people, and that wasn't her job. So I walked up to her and I said, "You know, darling, you don't have to clean up after them. They're big gods and goddesses. They can clean up after themselves. They have magic."
Immediately, as soon as you address her, she spins around and she, bows. My lady, if it's no trouble at all, of course, I am happy to serve.
You don't need to do that.
Do what?
Bow.
Oh. I'm sorry, my lady. I will, is there anything you need? I can get you, a drink, or, I can take that,
I'm sorry, are you a waitress?
No.
Are you a maid?
I am whatever is needed, my lady.
You are much more than that, Brynja. You are assistant to the king of the gods.
It's very kind of you to say so.
You do not need to beg for scraps from us. You do not need to serve us in such a way.
I do not mind at all, my lady. You're very kind, and I appreciate that. Of course, I can... You're too kind.
You can what, Brynja?
Sorry if I've offended you, my lady. I can simply,
The only thing that offends is that you keep apologizing for things that are not your fault.
I see. What would you like me to do, then, my lady?
Just have fun. You're at a party.
I am having fun.
Cleaning up. Bowing.
I enjoy to be useful.
All right, if you say so. Let me help you then.
Oh, you needn't do that.
Oh no, it's fine. And she just starts walking around the party, cleaning up, but also knocking things over because she is clumsy.
Brynja is following behind her, trying to pick up the things that she knocks over before she realizes that she knocked them over. And just, subtly, putting them away, and, thank you. This is far too kind of you. I'm sure you have more important things to do than to be, helping me.
Oh no, nobody wants me here anyways. Have you seen anybody talk to me tonight?
Nonsense, milady. I'm sure that your presence is simply impressive, and others are.
Nobody even invited me tonight. I just came because Arcus wanted me. But
I'm
he's over
sorry.
there doing something with Bane.
I must have neglected to deliver an invitation to you. I'm very sorry, my lady.
No,
I am
I'm
so
sure.
sorry that I have offended you. I will,
Verinia, you could not have offended me by not inviting me to this party. You could have offended me by inviting me, though.
So you don't want to be invited to the parties?
I would much rather be at home in my garden, to be completely honest. But if I don't come to the party, I am a pariah. And if I do come to the party, I am a pariah. So what do you do?
Whatever you wish to do, my lady.
Yes, well, usually that is what I do.
But
At this
And
point,
he's still picking things up. She sniffs a drink, throws it behind her.
immediately, Vernia goes and cleans it up.
as this is happening, and gods and goddesses beginning to sort of notice, kind of giving stares at what's happening, at seeing this, this questioning, why is this goddess, what? And then finally, from across the room, Brynja! Ven!
Yes.
Damn it, where is she?
Yes, Your Grace, I will be right there.
There you are. Get me some more of my juice that I've been working on.
Of course, Your Majesty. Right away. I'm sorry, my lady, I must...
3 times.
Yes,
Yes.
sorry.
It's fine.
Brynja. And then the King of the Gods goes back into talking with the other gods. You're kind of left there in this moment.
So sorry, my lady, I will be back. If you need anything, you can always hear, and she'll give you a bell. You can ring this, and I will hear it, and I will come.
I am not ringing a bell for you. I will send Anubis to go and see you should I need anything from you. And as she says Anubis, you look down to her left, and there is a white Doberman just watching everything that's going on.
Of course. I will be on the lookout then. I just have to go, and I must attend to His Majesty, but it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you again for your kindness. And she almost bows, and then she remembers that you told her not to bow, and she pretends that she was just leaning down to pick something up, and goes.
And as you almost bow, you also hear Anubis sort of growl. Just as a friendly reminder.
Yeah, and she'll go scurry over to Juice, where she will bring him juice.
This memory is flowing through your mind, and as the scene kind of ends, leaving your eye, Eve, and then moving then closer into Morrowyn's eye, who almost probably was sharing a similar memory, staring at you in the grim scene of now blood flowing from the mighty strike of the scythe of Mara. Both of you on the ground as your blood just sort of begins to trickle and touch. But as Morrowind, you begin to go back into a memory inside your head, of the voice that has been with you for quite some time in your dreams and never quite seeing who is saying this, who is speaking. And the majority of the time, the voice would be garbled in some way, as if muffled, as if underwater, as if at a distance, while this personage is next to you. And that is exactly where your mind goes, to this scene where you are in your other self. And how would you describe your other self for the viewers at home?
I mean, my other self is, she's a badass with a good ass. She, how would I describe her? She is confident. She is completely comfortable with who she is. She doesn't care really whether people like her or not. She just is who she is, and all she really wants is to be left alone.
And as you're there in those thoughts and feelings, and Morrowind, you're soaking this all in, this feeling of everything you've just described. And then you hear the voice. My love, you're finally awake. And as always, you turn your head, expecting not to see anything, to see a void where there is you, where there should be a face. But this time, it seems like this veil over your mind is broken. And you see the face that you've been longing to see since having the very first dream. And you see Arcus. I'm sorry, did I wake you up?
No, darling. I was lost in a thought.
Really? You lost in a thought. Of course, what else is new? You look as gorgeous as always.
Yes, well, kind of hard not to be when you're a goddess.
It's not just that. There is no other goddess like you that I would rather spend my eternity with.
Don't say that. People will get jealous.
When are we going to say exactly what is in our hearts? When?
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. And he sort of just kind of, he doesn't necessarily walk with his feet. As he walks, he just sort of just glides as his ankle feathers begin to flutter, as he just kind of swoops around, and now he swoops around to the other side. then kind of leaning down closer, and he grabs your hand and he holds it up and he pulls his wrist down, and there on his wrist there's a symbol. And what symbol is on his wrist?
It is a crescent moon that is intertwined with a snake, and the snake's mouth is open.
And as he shows his wrist, he grabs your wrist, and there you see a symbol. And the symbol is that as if it is a ring. And where a diamond should be, there are two ankle wings. And he has it, and he just places it over top as he holds your hands. You know, I will never, never leave you. You know this.
Arcus, what? Is this a prank?
He just kisses you. And that kiss sends shivers down your spine. In fact, Morrowind, as you begin to open your eyes, as tears begin to fill, and it's as if the blood leaving your body, as the tears begin to flow even faster, you lay there staring at Eve, and then your eyes shift upwards towards the circle that is around the altar in front of it. And all of a sudden, you feel this pull towards it. And as you lay, unable to move, you close your eyes. What is going through Morrowind's head? How would you describe what's happening to Morrowind?
She is freaking out. She is confused as to what just happened in her dream. She is rejoicing that she finally saw her strange dream visitor, like who they are, but she's also super perplexed as to why she would be having dreams about Arcus.
And it's those kind of thoughts kind of filling your head as you lay in between unconsciousness, consciousness, and then the sad reality.
Yeah.
The sad reality that brings us back to your guys' situation. Around the reality again of exactly what's happening around. There is no safety. There is no time to rejoice in memories unlocked. As you hear the harsh reality. And It is now Sabine's turn. Sabine,
Yes.
what is going through Sabine's head right now? Can you please explain to the folks at home what the heck Sabine's been thinking this entire time?
Blood. Blood. I want to kill them all. I want them all to burn. All of them. They deserve to burn. And she's going to look at her friends that are falling on the floor and look at Warren and see the sexy elf girl that I don't remember her name ever. And Sabine's going to turn around and she's going to see that fucking glowing thing. And she's going to just know that something about it isn't right. And she's going to turn and she's going to try to rip it apart. And just scrape away the sigils and break the rocks. I don't know what I rolled for that, just attack,
Sabine,
but
you turn around, filled with this rage, heading towards the circle. And then something catches the corner of your eye. I want you to make a perception roll to see if you can see exactly what's happening.
oh,
The DC for this roll is 12.
I got a 23.
That is a critical success.
Yeah.
You, in this thought of going towards this circle, you see the candles burning. You see this blue light. You see these markings on the ground around. And as the blue light begins to fill your eyes, all of a sudden, with this rage, you turn and you look towards Oren. Something is wrong. Because you don't see Oren by himself anymore. And I'm not talking about the magistrate. I'm not talking about Rupert Chomsky. I am not talking about sexy elf. I mean Farron.
Ah, that's her name. Who does she see?
She sees
She's like, it's like, what's on the box? What's on the box?
blazing behind Oren unaware.
Oh.
You're looking at this scene and you see Oren facing the magistrate, and right behind you see this perfect specimen with flowing golden hair as if it's as bright as the sun itself. And you hear in a thunderous voice, and Oren, you hear this voice. My boy, there you are. And all of a sudden, with a lash, the back of Oren streaks open. Another lash. His back opens again. And Oren, you fall to your knees. And you fall to the ground.
Oh, it's Sabine diverts her gaze from the altar to him. Does she recognize him, feel anything at all about him?
Oh, you know danger. You see this, and you know that this is not a person. You know that this is what you saw was a god, and you saw it, and you recognized it, and no one else did.
She will stare at him and just go, "You! What have you done?"
The chamber just fills with a laughter as he fades from your sight.
I will find you! And I will kill you for this! She rips the altar apart.
What do? You saw this perception. You saw that. You see Oren going down.
Yep. She starts ripping it apart.
She rips apart
the altar. She just starts
altar.
ripping it apart.
Okay, roll an attack roll on it.
I swear if I miss this. Okay. Oh no! No! What is that? What did you roll? I don't like that.
You hit. You hit it. There seems to be like some sort of protective barrier as your claw goes in, and you kind of feel like this shield, but you're able to push it through. Yeah, roll your damage on it.
Did I crit on it? I mean, it's an altar.
It's the force is 15. You did not crit on this.
Okay.
13 points of damage as you, and the energy begins to flow, and blue light begins to just burst up. It's still standing, but you know that this whatever is a barriers over top of it, you have damaged it. But you would have to strike again, as it's not.
She would just stand there and just say, "Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, stop this."
The blue light begins to fade around, almost like a mist. And as it begins to seep upwards, you can see that it's going towards your face. And it fills within your eyes. Now, in that attack, Oren, you received 14 lashing damage. Ultimately, it's a slashing damage on your back, as the intensity behind these strikes felt much more close than you felt before. But
yeah,
you collapse.
No.
And with that then, and that's the end of your turn?
No, she's gonna try and do it again.
Okay, attack again.
Yep.
Yep. Roll your damage. Okay. And that is no. Yeah, that's enough actually. As you go through and your hand again through the force makes it through, that you're able now to swipe across the sigils, breaking. You have to make a will save as you break this ritual circle.
Okay, 25.
Success.
I'm really scared of all this.
Yes.
I'm rolling so good. It's
As
gonna bite me in the ass.
as this explosion bursts, you feel like your mind was just about to like burn in whatever this magical energy as it begins to flow within your mind. Your head begins to sort of spin. You begin to feel a little bit nauseous, but you're able just to shake all of this off as the candles they go out.
That was so cool.
And as the candles go out, is that the end of your turn?
No, she'll just kind of stand there, just breathing really heavily. Did the other guy die? Like, did he crumble, or is he still there?
We'll have to see where we get to.
Okay, then she'll just stand there and just say, "There, you're gone. Never return." And then she's going to turn around and run to Eve.
As you run towards Eve. Now, Pollinus's turn. You hear the voice of Mara cry out. Trapped. Now I am fading. I will find you. You are now. I've caught your scent. I've caught your scent.
What's worse is I've caught yours. Find me if you dare.
And that's when Pollinus collapses. And both of these undead entities that were the mouthpieces of Mara collapse to the ground, ending this encounter.
Good.
And you guys are left. And I'm just going to switch the music. Because as this encounter ends, Orin, you fall to the ground as you feel the lashes on your back. You hear the laugh that was inside your head. Where would your eyes have gone to? I'm curious, as you were falling, as the last bit of your life, what would your thoughts go to?
I would have just looked up at my friends and looked at Sabine, who's trying to save me, and looked at Mormon and Eve and Rupert, and just been sad that I couldn't save them all.
And as you began to kind of fade into blackness, you are lost in a memory. And You don't see yourself as Oren. You see yourself as someone else. As you're walking down this marble palace in beautiful, beautiful ivory, stone, you catch your reflection. And you see yourself in this perfect form, walking towards a familiar room, where the door is slightly ajar, as if waiting for you. What do you do?
Going to walk right in and say, "Hello, love. I need your help a little bit."
Sitting, perhaps on the bed or on a chair, you see someone that makes your heart jump. What does Oren's other self see?
He would walk into my room. There are paintings all over the ground. There's bits of weaponry kind of sprawled everywhere. There's probably some blood. A bit stained on the carpet. He's probably caught her at a moment of rest, so she's not wearing her usual armor and get up. Her hair's probably tied up with a piece of leather, and she's painting on the ground bits of shadow work with bright golden eyes. Well, you look worse for wear. How are you feeling?
Oh, you know, the usual afternoon.
So you've gone to see your father?
You know, Daddy, he loves his whips.
What did you do wrong this time?
I think I was born.
That story of our lives. Sit down. I'll help you dress the wound.
Thank you.
And she'll walk over to her stand and open up this ointment that her friend with the garden has made for her in times of duress and pain and cuts, owies. And she would uncap the lid and bring it over to him with a warm basin of water and a cloth. Would you like help stripping off your shirt, or can you manage well on your own?
Oh, it's just not even really on. You know, he doesn't like to show his love when I have armor on. He's going to just pull the clasp a little bit and it'll fall right off because it's only kind of just put over top so that nobody would see it as he walked the halls.
I wish that she would let me put Reba to his throat. I hate it when he does this. And she'll begin to kind of wash the cuts gently.
We'll get our time. Eventually.
This is taking far longer than it should.
It's okay. It takes time. I'm patient at this point. It doesn't hurt anymore. It's like scratching your toenail. It's already calloused. You can't feel it anymore. I think that pisses him off more than anything.
He does love making people scream, not in a fun way.
Mm-hmm.
But you do not have to mask it here. You don't have to pretend. You're safe within these walls. You're warded.
You know me, it's not physical pain anymore. It's anger. It's
That I understand well. She'll start to put the salve on his back. Deep breath in. That was out.
The salve for a god to receive such wounds and not to be able to heal on its own could only come from the wounds of a higher deity. And as the salve is placed on it with its shimmering gold, it's as if it fills within the cracks themselves and then begins to heal into new flesh. Oren, as you lay there, your eyes staring at Sabine, but you don't see Sabine. You see this heavenly image standing over top of Eve and Morwen, and that's when you pass out. And Sabine, as you dissipated the circle, smoke begins to whirl around, and as you're standing beside the bodies, you begin to see a shape form out of the smoke. The shape appears to be sort of like a man, but you cannot make out any sort of facial features, except that it appears to be flying with wings on the ankles. And as you stand over top of these bodies, these hands go to your eyes. And with a touch, you eyes just fill with this brilliant, brilliant blue light. As you're able to look around and see each one of your friends for who they really are. And you hear a voice. I don't have much time. This is probably the only amount of energy I have. Find me. Tell. And the voice begins to sort of fade. Find me. I'm in the map maker. And just dissipates.
No.
As you've come to this realization, and everyone has a memory of, and because these memories have unlocked, all your bodies begin to heal, and you begin to rise up more powerful than you were before. And yeah, just kind of curious, just for what's going through the players' heads. Like, what's going through Oren's head? Let's start with Oren. Waking up from this and then seeing what you're saying. Like, give us some insight. What's going through their perspective?
The beat is hotter than I realized. Also, I'm hotter than I realized. Also, I think I might have daddy issues.
Don't we all?
I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm more confused than I was before. I think I might be really scary in my other life.
Nice. And Oren, yeah, you regain consciousness, and again, like you feel more powerful, and you stand up. And for the folks at home, these guys were all level 3. They're now waking up at level 4. And how about Morwen? Morwen, as you're waking up, what's going through your head?
I think she is concerned because her other self, she didn't feel lonely, but she was alone except for Arcus, and that must have felt really bad, and she's concerned about her other self. Um, and at the same time, she is um she's processing that this person that she's been dreaming of has been a god the whole time, and um it makes sense that she liked going to the statue so much with Joe when he was praying.
Yeah.
Just kind of putting puzzle pieces together, trying to at least.
And probably that's exactly it. You're throwing these puzzle pieces together, trying to make them fit, trying to see which ones fit, what don't fit, as you regain consciousness and begin to rise. Eve, you've been through probably the most being, being revived, going down, being revived, going down again. What's going through Eve's head as all these memories have been unlocked?
She has some really meaningful answers and a lot more questions. On one hand, Verenia, I know my name now. I know that's who I was. But who was Verenia? she has clues,
Mm.
but the core of it is still a mystery and one to be uncovered, as Eve is wont to do.
And this whole thought of Mara and Nevaria.
Yeah, that's on the contrast to Oren. Maybe I have mommy issues.
Issues.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion around the figure of Mara, simultaneously feeling like someone that she felt these really strong feelings of, like, affection and, like, this feeling that, oh, I know you and you're the person who's supposed to guide me, and then feeling completely shut out to the point of, I'm going to murder you, basically, because you're a traitor, is a very confusing combination of things to feel.
Yeah.
And that memory, again, it's a clue, but there's still so many questions.
Yeah. And, it's almost, I can't imagine it being that mixed emotion of a relief of being able to regain memories, but the memories that you are regaining aren't necessarily pleasant ones. And so awakening from this experience, your body healing, and almost there's just a feeling as if, like when they say, like, when and someone loses their arm, they have phantom limbs.
Mm-hmm.
For a while they still have a full functioning arm, like a phantom limb. You have phantom wings as you awaken, as you've lived, it seems, of these moments in your full form. And now, as you awaken into your mortal self, these phantom wings are just this lingering feeling of where the scar is on your back, where you awaken. Sabine, what's going through Sabine's head?
Okay. Truthfully, she is straight up thinking, how did that guy get wings on his feet? And is it possible if I find a bird with little wings that I might attach them to my feet and fly? Or if I attach them to a squirrelion's feet, would they be better in battle because they could fly?
I love the fact that it's like the first thought after all of what's going on.
Yep.
These wings on ankles.
Yeah.
The next greatest thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Sabine, you saw each and every one of your peoples,
Yep.
of your pack. You saw each and every one of them in their true form, if that is a way to describe, or their former selves.
Yeah.
Because the reality of mortality is the fact that you're nothing close to what you saw, nor this power of someone appearing slashing and disappearing.
Yeah, I think that in her mind, she goes to the small things like, wings on ankles to kind of help her process different things. And so you focus on the small bits and then you can zoom out to focus on the bigger picture. And
Amazing.
she's very, I feel like it's brought a lot of peace to her mind and felt like coming home, because she always knew that there was something else. I mean, she fell from the sky and caused a lot of destruction, so she feels like that is what she always does. But to see this this other person heal and help a friend, but doing it through her hands and her eyes, very surreal feeling for her. Especially when all she's done is destroy.
And destroy, you did destroy the ritual circle, releasing this blue smoky image. You're in reality now. You're in the after effects. Everyone is waking up. Rupert Chomsky is licking Oren's face, trying to get him to awaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Are we all?
Actually,
so are they still on the ground then?
they are waking up. You guys are out of initiative. You are out of combat, and each one of you is waking up, healed from the wounds that you've taken. It seems that this encounter with this goddess, given the intensity of the moment, has unlocked something inside, allowing you to draw from a power that you're not familiar as to what. You can only imagine because you've seen yourselves and other selves, and now you are regaining your strength.
Meanwhile,
So,
Sabine's just like, yeah, full health, I'm
Aaron.
good.
Yeah, Theron, watching this whole thing go down, is just going to the bodies and making sure they're dead. Just, it's almost as if, was it rule number 12 or rule number 2 is always double tap?
Double tap.
Yep.
Double
Always.
tap.
Yeah,
Right, and she's abiding by those killer instincts that she has, just to make sure that these beings are down. Rupert Chomsky, like I said, is going to each of the party members as regaining consciousness. Will go around and just start licking people's faces to help them wake up. The mistress, motionless on the ground. What do you guys do?
I think Sabine would just say, Farron, can you check Oren and the mistress, please? And she's trying to help Eve set up. And Morwen just sit up.
Yeah, I think as Rupert Chomsky is licking Morwen's face, she's like, Arcus, no! And then she sits up.
Amazing. Oh my goodness gracious. That's awesome. I'm going to reward each of you with a hero point. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to use it, but you guys did an amazing job with your role playing in those scenes. It was amazing. My hat goes off to you all. And so you have a extra hero point. You each get one beginning of the game, and you certainly earned a second one.
Thanks, buddy.
Boom! Yeah. Especially with that Arcus. Arcus.
Yeah, for real.
He's like,
Stop.
stop it.
He will
Focus.
sit up. Oh,
What?
he will
Sorry.
sit up and just, Sabine, are you alright? Are you hurt? What,
I'm perfectly fine. Are you alright? You and Moen and Oren, you died. You died, and
I'm not dead. I'm no more dead than I was when you first met me.
well,
I'm alright. Sabine, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
did you
Now.
perhaps have a vision?
What did you see? Please.
There was a man with wings on his feet, and he was floating there. And he said, "Map maker, and find me." At least I think that is what he said. But
Said that to you?
yes,
He called you a map maker?
no, he just said, "Map maker, find me."
Okay.
It's a very serious scene. Yeah, literally, that's how she feels.
Spooky.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's how she feels. He was floating, but he had wings upon his feet, and he was flying.
I think you saw Arcus,
August.
the god of merchants and messengers, and I saw him too.
Oh, that is the name that you called Rupert.
I didn't do that.
Right.
What, Winnie, what did you see when you were... Did you, have any strange memories?
Winnie blushes a lot.
Does her
No
scent
stranger dreams than
change?
usual.
Didn't,
Giggle at the end.
yeah. You kind of, like, gives her a look, a raised eyebrow, and then just...
Did you have dreams, Eve?
Yes, I did. I saw you in one of them. It was, I think it was you. It was much... You were different. Like what I saw
I saw you too.
You did?
Yeah, we were at a party.
What
I
kind
was...
of party? I like parties.
I wasn't mean, but I also wasn't very nice. I'm sorry.
It wasn't... I don't know. I know my name. I know what it was. Yes.
I called you a name. What?
My name was Rinia.
That's
Tim,
right.
your amulet vibrates.
Does it visibly?
You feel it on your chest. You're like,
Ah.
it's apparent. Like, roll needed. You
Okay.
feel what you say it out loud, your amulet vibrates.
She goes to kind of grab it, I think just like unconsciously.
It's wrong.
That's
Weird that we had the same dream.
I don't think it was just a dream. I think it was real, or I think it was something that happened to us in our past lives, or whatever it was. But I know that was me in another time.
Our dreams were real?
It felt
You think?
like a memory.
Oren, are you alright?
I think so.
She'll rush over to him and look at his back.
Oh. Might not want to do that.
Pulls up his shirt, unless it's ripped. Is his shirt ripped? I'm assuming, probably.
His shirt. You look like he had a nice shirt before, and now it's torn through. You see
bandages might be.
Just looking, singed, smell of burnt hair. But the wounds themselves, as he's regaining, as he was waking up, have already began to scab over. But it's just like a thick scab.
Sabine hands.
Looks very like.
Morwen hands some goat's help to Sabine.
She'll just gently
and just says, "While you're back there, why don't you help him?"
Right. Oren.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened? It was the father.
I think so. I think it was my dad.
He is not a very good dad.
No. No, he's not. I think he's a god.
A god?
If your father's a god, then that would make you a god.
Maybe.
Wouldn't it?
I don't know. I think my dad might be the god Casimir. I don't think he likes me very much.
Casimir, the sun god?
Yeah.
He doesn't like you.
Does that ring any bells?
Yeah, you can roll a society roll or occultism, either one, depending, especially for someone who's going into the library or just the talk with society, but someone who's studying specifically occultism would be appropriate.
I think what I would be trying to roll would be more for Eve just had these memories as Verinia. There was definitely a focus on certain aspects of the memories, but she's saw a bunch of gods. She's trying to, I guess, kind of search that and see if she has any memories of who that is, or
would cast
roll. Yeah, choose what you're going to roll, and you'll have a +2 to this roll.
Okay.
Given the fact.
Yeah, sure. That works.
Lauren rolled a 16. All right.
Trying to add my mark. I don't know why that's
or Morwen, with your 16, for what you studied, you're pretty well familiar with all the different deities. You one way or another you've come across. and you certainly are familiar with Casimir, and you know him to be the god of. He's the god of the sun and the god of augury, and you know that anyone who worships Casimir, there are many different cults out there, and many of the soothsayers and prophetesses, they all in some way worship Casimir. And Eve, with your 17, you also know all of this. But so much so that as you are thinking about Casimir, you must roll a will save. The DC is 18.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Okay. This is a great day for you guys.
For awesome.
But she rolled well.
Being dead.
What? Reroll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Suck it.
And you.
You didn't give me a negative.
Yeah, that's right.
Tone uses
No,
his
you wouldn't have gotten.
Tone uses his own hero point to make you
You-
re-roll.
That's right. You don't out there have a hero point they want to give me? Anyways. Eve.
Yeah.
You think about Casimir, so much so that there's something about his name so vivid of a memory as you begin just to automatically just feel your arms just as if you're kind of just looking at your skin, and you begin to see a pattern. And you don't feel the pain that you would have felt had you failed. But your mind is resistant. But you, in fact, see what is hidden on your skin. And just for that moment, as you begin to think about him, about this Casimir, then just the thought fades, and those scars are hidden again. And you can feel it as if it's all over your body.
Okay. Yeah, I think she kind of, you would just see her like looking at her arms, like turning them over.
Would it be noticeable?
Well, it all depends. Are you being secretive about it, Eve? And for
No, because it was an immediate reaction. It was like she had this like, she's like very much lost in it. So she's not making an effort to hide that.
That being said, if someone's trying to notice if she's doing it, you can certainly roll a perception roll, but it will be with a penalty because you're not necessarily like looking for it, right? It'll just see if you can catch it off the side.
Yeah, I will.
So, yeah.
I'll do it because I know that Sabine's watching everyone intensely, but she's walking over to the mistress to like tap her to see if she's okay. She's gonna be like, mistress?
Check her tongue, grab her tongue.
Yeah, if for reals though, right?
Roll to
It
see if
says I
otherwise.
can't because there's an encounter.
But
I don't know.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
encounter's
because
over.
you're trying to roll initiative.
Oh, you are so correct. Oh my gosh, you are beautiful. What was the penalty?
I know.
Never mind. It was a minus 2.
Minus
You're
2?
not.
Oh, that was
No,
me.
that was my roll. That was not hers.
Oh,
But
so Morrowind rolled for
she
Sabine.
did
Okay.
not.
Okay.
No, I rolled for me because I wanted to see if I saw Eve.
Okay. Yeah, more when you didn't. You were too caught up with all
I was
the.
too caught up with Orin and trying to figure out what the heck it means if his dad is a sun god.
And the embarrassment of smooching Chomsky for just a
And
moment.
what the heck Ori means.
Yeah, augury. What does that
Augury.
mean? Augury.
Okay, I forgot
Augury.
to push the add. I typed in the -2, but I didn't push add. I always forget that, so it would have been a 17. I
Was
was
it 17?
Why isn't it saying -2?
yeah.
That's why.
That 17 would be sufficient to catch just the kind of looking. You didn't catch exactly what she was looking for, but you did catch that she was analyzing her hands and her arms. And then you go over to the mistress.
Yeah. She'll just gently sit down beside her and just kind of move the hair out of her face and just, Mistress? Sibel? Are you alright?
You hear nothing.
She's going to lay her flat and put her ear to her chest.
Roll a medicine.
And I assist. Give you bonus.
If you want to assist, yeah, go ahead and roll your medicine as well. And if you roll higher than a 15, you can assist.
Okay.
She's like, Eve taught me how to do this. Puts it on her stomach.
Checks the tongue for pulse.
Let's see.
She was taught by Eve, so she's kind of close.
I can assist.
Yay! That's way better than my 5.
I feel like you probably wouldn't be putting your ear to the chest. I feel like with a 5, you would have had your ear to the foot.
Probably. Or her hand.
Or you probably saw what Orin was doing and grabbed
the tongue.
She wouldn't have seen the tongue, and that makes me so mad because she would have.
She's listening to the mistress's ear.
Like, have her.
She's got her ear to her ear, and she's trying to see if that works.
And I hear her thoughts.
And Eve, you kind of went there, and you're like, well, actually, probably put your ear here.
But let me teach you how we helped our guests.
That's right. Yeah. So there you go. In Eve, with your instruction, I'll allow that you guys can listen. And yeah, you don't hear a heartbeat.
It's not thumping. The heart isn't thumping, Eve. What does it mean? Is she dead?
She hasn't, I'm afraid she didn't make it, Sabine.
But why did you guys come back and she did not? She's gonna grab the mistress's arm and pull down her sleeve to look at the time.
I don't know. What is that?
You see a tattoo of the hourglass. And it's stopped. And all the sand has fell to the bottom. No more sand is falling. It is no longer active the way that you saw it moving. And you're looking at this hourglass. Sabine, you can roll a society roll, and you can have a +4 to this roll as you are coming back to those memories and thoughts. The DC is 18.
I freaking knew that was gonna start happening. But you know what?
You have a hero point.
I'm gonna use my hero point. Oh, whoops. I have to
Please explain to the folks at home what a hero point is.
Yeah, make your rolls better. Hopefully.
Reroll.
If you're familiar with 5e, it's very much like advantage.
Roll an
But
advantage.
cooler.
Sorry.
Much cooler. Actually, there's a lot of stuff you can do with that.
A lot of things.
Being
Absolutely.
about 19.
You just
Oh.
made it.
Yay!
Well,
I'm scared.
as you stare at this hourglass, it's an hourglass with a circle, like it's an hourglass within a circle. And in the circle, there are runes. It's in a language that you don't quite understand. It is something that looks familiar. And the runes begin to glow as if they're kind of jumping out from the skin.
She's going to hold the arm and just go, wait, Bane. She's gonna put her ear to the hourglass.
As you put and listen to the hourglass, as you touch it, as these runes begin to kind of go and in front of your face, in your head, for just a moment, you see Bane. And it just fades away. The hourglass, the circle, just all of a sudden just kind of turns black and fades away.
Wait, come back.
And the body of the mistress is just cold. And as you're holding the arm to your cheek, you can feel the body begin to wrinkle up and stiffen, as if it's already going through its rigor mortis, as the aging process accelerates with her death.
She'll just
The hair
move her hair.
just turns just to white, gray hair as she lays on the ground holding her rapier, that blade that she killed with the one blow. And that in itself, probably you automatically kind of have this realization that whatever ounce of power she had left in that hourglass was spent defending you all.
Just brush her hair out of her face and just say, I'm sorry, but you had to use the rest of your scent. I'm sorry that we brought you into this mess. But I hope that you owe it your love. No, I can find peace. She'll put her arm back down and just say, we need to bury her properly, or higher, so her soul can be released.
Baron speaks up. I will help. She deserves that much for doing what she did.
Yes.
Maybe we should do it somewhere else, though. Not here in this temple to Mara.
It is no longer her temple. It is mine now. I have claimed it. She is gone. and will no longer hold power here.
What did you...
Okay.
I banished her.
I see.
And I will forever hunt her for what she did to us, what she took from us.
Sabine, she's a goddess. She's a goddess. We should be careful challenging.
We are gods. We have power. And this is the first moment that Sabine has clarity in her voice, where she doesn't have her dreamy whimsicalness to it.
Don't feel very powerful right now.
I do, and I will carry you all. They will suffer for what they did.
Eve just pauses for a moment and then just puts out her hand to Sabine. I don't have the kind of power that you do. I don't think I ever did. Even when I was greater than what I am now. But I will be by your side.
Always. And she'll take your hand. Put her other hands on top of Orn's shoulder, arm. And look at Morwen, Baron. Baron's like, I'd like to be excluded from this narrative of hunting gods.
Actually, as you say what you're saying, you see Faring with her black eyes looking at you and makes the eye contact and says, "Do you mean what you say? Do you mean exactly what you are saying?"
Yes. Do you mean am I telling the truth? Or
Yes.
telling a story?
Yes.
I am telling the truth.
I heard the voice of the harvester in my head. And I heard her last words. And she said that she was trapped. And I don't think that she has the power of a goddess. If you were easily able to banish her, as you did, I think that she is somewhere here. And if that is the case, please allow me to join you to slay her.
Poor sister, you are welcome to join us as we hunt this goddess.
And you see a smile grow across her face. And I will help in any way I can. We slay this harvester abomination. My people could finally be at peace, perhaps. I will follow you.
She did this to your people.
Not just her, but she led. She reaped them down as if they were just dry straw. She built this as a monument, and here her temple lies. But this temple is not the same. Look at it, it's broken. It's broken.
The power
She
dwindles.
has her power. Exactly. Her power dwindles.
Oren's gonna stand up and say, I think it's time to take back our power and to show the gods and wannabe gods the power of the mortals. I'm in. I accept my power. And Morwen and Eve, I think you're more powerful than you might think.
Thank you, Oren.
Wait, but I don't know if I want to be that person.
Morwen, I think what you need to look at it as is there are people trying to oppress your family and the people in this city and in this world. There is someone trying to become a god. And there are gods who have lost their power and been thrown out, and we are them, and we need to protect your family. It's not about destroying.
Oren, I want to help you guys. I just don't know about the whole God thing. That's all. But I'll help you. I want to help.
You don't need to become who you were. That might have been who you were, but that is not who you are now. For you did not have Joe or the little creatures. You did not have them, perhaps, and now you do. Your heart is different. Your wants, needs are different now. You can be whoever you want to be and keep what you want from the past.
I hope you're right. But we should get out of here.
Yes.
We need to go find Captain Flick.
Yes.
I will.
How are we going to do that without the mistress?
Oren, she said
We'll find him.
she said something to you, right? What did she say? Mistress?
To meet him by the statue?
Statue of Arcus.
Yeah. That we were supposed to meet Captain Flick. The statue of Arcus.
Where is that?
Once we get out of these tunnels, I think you can probably find it. I've been there with Joe before.
Yeah. So let's get out of here. Also, where's Johnny? Is he okay?
He is a.
I
Yes.
he's gonna be fine.
You hear a voice and a little hand. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Johnny's alive?
Johnny
he
Five
died.
is alive.
Morwen was able to heal him.
He wasn't quite dead, like the mistress thought.
Sabine just starts crying with joy. Oh, at least that's good.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
Sabine starts to tear off.
Oh, Sabine, I think
No, Sabine.
I think that's about all of your dress that you can tear off without showing off your,
Sabine,
your
here,
goods.
I have bandages. It's okay. I have bandages.
wasn't
Thank
a-
you so much for
I mean,
helping.
I'm trying
again-
to make a thing for the mistress
Of course.
to lay on.
Yeah, the more
So we could drag
I
her.
have.
the more your dress you want to take off, I'm cool with it. I just don't know if you fully know what you're doing.
Should I take it all off?
Sure.
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
Carry her?
Why don't
My guardian taught me I
Um,
shouldn't do that. That it is improper.
I mean, you are allowed to dress or undress however you want. It is your body. I'm just saying it might make other people uncomfortable.
It wouldn't make
Not
me
that-
uncomfortable.
Should I
Um,
care about what the other people think?
you also might get cold.
I don't get cold.
Well, okay, so there's rules. You might get in trouble once we get out of the cave. The guards might not be super duper happy that you don't have any clothes on. It's really just like
I think they might not
a
be
society
happy
thing.
that we broke out of the prison and started it on fire and slaughtered some of their people. But I could see why they would not like to see my naked body as well.
Generally,
I mean, we'd all like to see it.
When we're out in the street, we want to have clothes on our body. And it's not because our bodies are bad. It's
Right. Just like how...
It's just considered something private.
yeah.
Right.
It's something that you save for the
Right.
really special people in your life.
But you guys are very special.
Okay, let's go.
Unraveling.
I'm special. I'm special.
Well, we'll get into the appropriate times to take off your clothing later, but let's maybe get out of here for now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
More just like pulls out, she has like a big roll of bandages and is like, maybe we can just use this as like a thing to help carry the mistress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sabine will get like 2
Maybe
sticks
I'm
or
not
rocks.
very strong. Maybe Sabine and Farron, you look really strong. Orin, you're very strong too. Maybe you can help.
Thank you. I
Mhm.
am quite strong.
You all spend this time building exactly what you need in order to carry the mistress. Now, Farron, of course, watching all of you and assisting any way that she can, goes and gets Johnny, and y'all, Johnny is sort of limping. He's injured, but he's able to make his way. Farron would always recommend and saying, this is the Isabel. Perhaps these what she's carrying is not needed anymore for her, as she cannot take it with her and into the afterlife.
He will start to search
What-
it.
I'm wondering about
As you
that.
think.
The rapier. Is it any better than mine?
Ooh, the rapier. So you take a look at the rapier?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
I'm
guys,
pretty cool with rapiers.
given the fact that if there's no role that's needed as you're spending time kind of going through, you see that her cloak is that it is that purple with that kind of silver pattern on it. It is a very nice cloak, and it seems like it is something that belongs to a certain order. It's just very apparent as that, and Sabine you would recall kind of what she spoke to you about. So there's a cloak There is a purse of money. There are coins. She carries about 100 gold on her.
Dang.
And she also has a map of these caverns.
Oh.
The map that she was,
helpful.
right? So she has that. So you find that. The rapier is very sharp and it's very fast. And all depends. Let's see if you can identify it. Ooh.
Sabine would say before
Who
you
can
grab
roll?
the
Let's see.
rapier, she would say, I was taught that warriors be either burned or buried with their sword, for it keeps their soul with them as they go and depart this world. But that is our traditions. I don't know what yours are.
Maybe I could trade her.
You can roll a crafting on this weapon.
And he will say to Sabine, that is very honorable, but honor is probably not the first thing we need to be thinking about if we are going to be hunting the gods.
Right.
That's a 20.
Ooh, that's very nice. It's a so the rapier itself has the sharp quality, so that if you do a critical damage with this, it will actually do an additional 1d6.
Ooh. No wonder she was dealing so much damage. Holy.
Yeah, she was doing a lot of crits.
So when you crit, you do an additional damage. That's the weapon that she has, and again, it has the same sort of engravings that is on the cloak. The same kind of silver stitching is on the blade itself.
Look at this stitching and the runes and see if I know what it's about now that I can get close.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll a lore. You can roll a lore on this, a society roll.
Society, or I have a feat.
Ooh, tell me what your feet.
Let me see. Let me find it. Yeah.
My
So
feet have
it's
5
called-
toes. Just kidding.
That's a foot. Feet is 10 toes.
Go on, tell us about your.
So I have a feat called Schools and Secrets. You notice the signs and symbols that members of mystery cults and other secret societies use to declare their affiliation to fellow members. You can use occultism in place of diplomacy to gather information about such groups, and in place of deception to impersonate a member of these groups.
So,
Okay, yeah. All right.
Sabine would tell you then, as you're relieving her of her cloak, she said that she was a spy master for something called the Crimson Petal.
And that is exactly what you also pick up as well. Maureen would know the moment she says Crimson Petal, and you're like, this is a spy master's cloak. And thinking about if ever you were to get and try to move into a secret organization, this cloak would be key in terms of identifying one's stature and status in this organization that deals with secret murders and deals with secrets sold across the empire. These are the people that the emperor employs, which is why Captain Flick would have someone he entrusted to do his work.
Eve, in all of this, would be looking for an opportunity to pull Farron to the side. Just note that. No need to rush anything else that anyone else is doing, but if there's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So, and just pause. So you are taking the cloak?
I think we would take the cloak with us, yes. Morwen would either put it in her bag or offer it to anyone who wanted to wear it. Unless Sabine did, and then she would say, "Don't rip it."
I wouldn't. It is not mine. It still belongs to her.
I think when we meet Captain Flick, it will be very important.
Could I wear it for some comfort?
Absolutely.
All right.
I think
Okay. Eve?
she would have wanted us to take it and use anything at our disposal to succeed in our aims.
Have any letters with her?
Did I?
Now, this is a cloak of secrets. So you'd have to do a roll to see if the cloak itself had some secrets.
Can I do that roll?
So you can certainly roll. You can roll a thievery just to see if you're able to kind of find these secret pockets. The DC
circumstance bonuses
is
for the tears that I'm putting on the cloak.
for the tears.
13.
No, in fact, it makes it worse. What did you get?
16.
I rolled a 13 thievery.
Oh.
Yeah.
I rolled
13.
I rolled a 16.
I rolled a 16. Oh, the DC was 15. So in terms of helping each other, certainly, yeah. Sabine, as as Morwen's handing it, you get.
Yeah, looking. I thought you'd handed it to her to put on. That's why I rolled it.
Yes, but I would have looked through the pockets before.
And going through, and you find the secret pockets, and indeed you find the letter written from Captain Flick to Zabel Fox, imploring her and asking her to please retrieve the prisoners, specific with, the miraculous deeds. Find out all you can about them, test them, and to bring them to me if they are in fact what they appear to be, people who deal with magic. And it does say to meet within the 3 days of the escape at the Arcus's feet. The statue Arcus.
So Sabine is holding the letter and looking it over and just goes, I don't know how to read.
I can look at it, of course.
Morwen would have been reading it over your shoulder too, and she would just be like,
"It's upside down."
All of the stuff, all of this stuff that she told us in this instance was true.
And he will read it out loud to Sabine, so she
Thank you.
can hear all of it.
You even did her voice so perfect, too. You didn't change her voice at all.
Thank you, Sabine. I'm glad you thought so. I tried my best.
It was very perfect.
So you have all of the mistress's belongings. So the weapon, the cloak, the map, and the note. You are able to, if you decide to carry or to deal with the body elsewhere, you certainly do that. However, as before you're leaving, Morwen, there is something that is just itching in the back of your head.
Yeah. Your hair.
Wigs
You
are-
have lice. You have to roll.
I'm so sorry.
In fact, giant lice are now attacking. Now, the
Worse
thing is,
than
in your
leeches.
dream, when you dreamt of Arcus,
Mhm.
your eyes moved towards the circle, the ritual circle in the temple.
Okay.
It was a detail that you may have missed in all of this circumstance, but itching in the back of your head. As you are preparing to leave, there's something that is unfinished. Go ahead and roll an occultism to see if you can pick up on it.
27.
Okay, yeah, you pick up on it. So, so as this, it's not something that you decide to kind of slough off, but you go and you take a look, and this is what you see. As you stare at this circle,
Mhm.
there is something that is familiar.
Mm.
Because you do see the circle, and you do see two wings off on the top, and you can sort of make it out as one part looks where the wing is visible, but you do see that this symbol is actually made from the symbol of Arcus. The same symbol that you see on your arm.
There's the symbol is in the ritual circle.
Yeah, it's actually the ritual circle is inside. So all the star and everything that you see inside, but on the outer rim. And you can see that there's wings at the edge of the circle.
So does it feel like it was a symbol of Arcus that was vandalized, or
And
like
this
they were
is
trying to summon Arcus?
you said a word as you said summon. And you're looking at the symbols and they look familiar. And in fact, you've seen these sort of patterns even on the scroll that you have.
Can I pull out the scroll and look at it?
And as you pull up the scroll and you look at it,
And
you
compare?
take a look at both. And the symbol of Arcus is actually inside of this scroll.
What did I say? She says to herself.
Comparing it,
Yeah.
you can see that there's some sort of ritual that's being used that is using the symbol of Arcus.
I don't know what kind of ritual it is, though.
You're catching on, like when you said summoning, that's exactly what your mind is going to. With your 27, you're recognizing this as a summoning spell. The thing that's standing out to you is that it's a summoning spell using the symbol of Arcus. It's almost as if it's a major part of this spell. And that symbol is also being used in the scroll that you found.
Is it the mother symbol? Or is it different?
Different.
Okay.
Different.
And Morwen would know that.
Yes, because the mother
Morwen's
symbol made me uncomfortable.
The what symbol did, sorry?
The mother symbol made me have very uncomfy feelings. It's almost as if someone else has mommy issues. Okay.
What's worse, mommy issues or daddy issues? And we wonder why we're bi.
Take your poison. We've got it all covered here.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that she would just be like, guys, I think they were trying to summon gods.
What?
Yeah.
What one?
That would explain a lot.
Specifically, Arceus.
What?
Or they were trying to use Arceus in some way.
Oh. I remembered something that he said. He did say that his power is waning. I think.
Oh, that's not good.
He said other things, but his little wings were flapping so hard and they looked so sad. And I just wanted to hold him up so he didn't have to keep flapping them so fast. And so his words kind of got muddled.
Okay.
I'm
What
sorry.
did he say to you? Winnie, what did he say to you? You said you saw him too.
Oh, he didn't say anything important to me.
Did he do anything?
He did some things.
Why did your voice get so squeaky when you said that? Did he hurt you?
No.
Oh, now your voice got really low. What does that mean?
Perhaps Morwen will tell us when she.
He kissed me.
Oh, really?
actually blushing.
Oh, do tell more.
What?
Tell us more. Keep going. Don't just stop there.
He held my hand and he
Ooh.
called me his love. And that's all I remember.
Right. Did she say anything important? Or useful? That's
all he said. I told you it wasn't important in it.
I mean, it is important. I mean, you know now that you had a good or a lover.
It was your mate. Oh.
Or something, I don't know.
Morwen, I am sorry. I was very insensitive about saying his power was waning.
I think that the power of the gods, of all of the gods, is waning, Sabine.
Maybe. But why did Oren's father not look like it was waning at all? He was quite bright. And
you saw Oren's dad?
Yes. Did I not mention that?
Wait. Like you saw him in real life?
Yes, I might have threatened him.
That seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah.
We
He
know
heard Orin from very far away.
who Oren's father is. That means perhaps we can find out who Oren is or was. Does
Smart.
Sun God have any sons? Is that something?
The gods have a lot of kids.
Does the sun have another son?
Now, the son, there was discussion about finding out, now that they know that Casimir, if they find out the son of Casimir, perhaps they can find out the name of this unknown former self of Orin. Now, just for the sake of time, you all have looked at the ritual circle. Morrowind, you know that this is built around the symbol of Arcus. Somehow Arcus is a part of this, but the symbols themselves, your instincts went straight away to summoning circle. And that is exactly kind of where your occultism role has revealed that this, in fact, is a summoning circle. And you know that with the symbols, while it's in a language that you can't understand, you know that it has something to do with Mara. For as Sabine destroyed the ritual circle, that seemed to have cast away. So that is what you have. You also know that your scroll is also somehow linked to Arcus. Also, Sabine had a talk with a smoky image of feathery ankle feathers that talked about Mapmaker. Y'all have gathered up what you needed, taking the bodies, making your way through the caverns, now with the map. Johnny, Farron, you're making your way through. And then finally, coming to the end, you see light at the end of this long tunnel as you have made it out of the caverns.
Yeah.
As you are walking, Farron says to you all, and you know that Farron was holding back information, but seeing what you did in terms of fighting Mara and what she said to you, Sabine, she has pledged her loyalty. And so she gives you this. I will say this. I don't know. You speak of being gods. And if you are certain that you've seen Casimir, then you dare not go to any prophet or soothsayer or anything of the like, fortune teller, for they all are linked to him. But there is one who gains her power not from the gods, but from the old ones, the ancient gods. I am speaking about the Sage Mother.
The Sage Mother.
Yes,
Who is that?
I've heard that name.
the Sage Mother, the Mother Sage. But she also goes by one name, the Cleonath. You know of her?
Yes. I do. Baron, that's something I've been wanting to ask you. Does the name 𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼 mean anything to you?
Lim-fam.
Flim Flam?
𝐼𝐼𝐼.
Not really, but if anyone knows, the Cleonath knows. For she is the keeper of all of the histories of my people. She is the one that still retains the magic of the elves. She is the one, I'm sure, that can assist. And I will be happy to lead you to her after we destroy the Harvester.
Yes.
It is settled. I will follow you to hopefully not our end, but to a new beginning.
Always. And she'll reach out her arm to clasp her arm.
And with that clasp, you have made your way out of the caverns. You have made your way into the city of Remorum, and you have come out anew, feeling bigger and better than your former selves. And perhaps even found purpose upon this mortal world. And with that, we end our session today, episode 12. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for part 2.
Yep.
For part 2 and 2 of episode 12. And oh my goodness, thank you so much. Next week will be episode 13. It will be episode 13. A very special number, because I don't know if you know this, but in the Roman tradition, 13 was unlucky, I think. I'm pretty sure. And I mean, foreshadowing anything. I don't know.
Oh,
but you definitely want to stay tuned
because
for
our luck so far has been so great. We really needed to just balance that out with a stroke of bad luck.
That's right. Absolutely.
I mean, it's gonna put wings on Corleone's, guys. I think that's pretty exciting. So I think our luck will change.
I'm just really glad that episode 13 and the solar eclipse didn't land on the same day.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I think it's time to end. So, as always, we hope that you live your best selves in your mortal roles, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys!